I realized Guinness was the right dog the minute I laid eyes on him. I could just tell he was a sweet, gentle animal. And my heart just melted when I saw him.
The work of the Richmond SPCA has just reaffirmed to me the importance of the well-being of all God's creatures. The Richmond SPCA is really the leader, you know, the gold standard for how this needs to be done, and is widely admired and acclaimed for it.
We first heard about Wilbur from a friend of ours who works at the Richmond SPCA. He came and spent the weekend, and we said, he's too perfect.
The second she ran into the room, she lit up the room, and she became part of our family immediately. She immediately went to each member of the family, laid in our laps, rolled over, let us pet her, licked us. It was this instant bond.
Well, I think you know, Richmond SPCA is just an extremely compassionate, giving organization. But there's so many people in the community that don't know until they walk through those doors the needs that they have to have that dog or that cat in their home and really improve their quality of their lives.
To see the money that's raised to help the cause and to help all of the animals that are brought in and cared for, just tremendous love by the staff at the Richmond SPCA and the expertise. And so the more that we can help support these animals until they do find a home, I think it's really, really important.
I think the work of the Richmond SPCA in this community is vital. I think first and foremost they're a no-kill shelter, which is so incredibly great, so important. In fact, if it weren't for them, I probably wouldn't have this man. He was at the Richmond SPCA for 11 months before he got adopted.
So I was looking at the Richmond SPCA website because I knew I wanted to adopt. And I saw Henrietta's profile, and she just called to me. I just think it is so special that after everything she's been through, she still has all of that love and trust in people. And I think it's because the Richmond SPCA did just such an amazing job taking care of her and making her feel loved while she was there.
The most rewarding part of my work is seeing the animals who are sick and injured and who need us desperately come into this shelter, and then we give them the care and the love that they need and that they deserve, and then they go home to these wonderful families.
A lot of times when our admissions team go out to our municipal shelters, we don't actually know the condition of the animal we're transferring, and so there is a lot of care that goes into the initial physical exam to be sure that we address every single medical issue they have before adoption.
And we're now going to shelters such as Wise County, Surrey, Essex. We're helping shelters in Georgia. We have transport relationships with Louisiana. We've increased our cat transfers tremendously. We work with 55 shelters in Virginia to help bring in cats and dogs, and the majority of those pets do need extensive medical care in order to become available for adoption and to live a long, healthy, and happy life.
When I started in 2005 in Prince George County, they were euthanizing more than half of the animals that were coming into the facility. And year to year, we've had this partnership with the Richmond SPCA where they're transferring animals from us. They're taking animals that might not otherwise have been adopted, and that's allowing us to increase our live exit rate. And then last year, our live exit rate was over 90%. We're really proud of that, and a big portion of that is our relationship with the SPCA being able to help us with animals we might not be able to place otherwise.
Our work is very important here because the animals, once they arrive here, we may be their last hope and their only stop and their only way to find that lasting forever home. The animals that we transfer, we do everything medically that would be gold standard in private practice. But beyond the medical piece, we have the behavior piece, and we are their home till they find a home. So we have to provide the love, the nourishment, the foster care, all the enrichment that they're not going to get potentially till they're in a home, and do it well.
As As the Director of Development, I am keenly aware of the number of animals that we're bringing into our care that are in need of medical attention and medical treatment, and those numbers are just continuing to increase. We are taking in more animals that need surgery or even just basic medical care, and the cost for that is rising. And without us, it's possible that these animals wouldn't receive that care otherwise. So it's crucially important that we raise the money to be able to save their lives.
In veterinary medicine, the cost of everything goes up every year. And so we're seeing the landscape of veterinary medicine change, which then also changes what we need to provide for our animals, that we need a much wider variety of supplies than what we used to need when I first got here.
The reason it's important to contribute to the Richmond SPCA is, number one, like I said, they have an impeccable reputation. All the money that they get, or funds or time, they're going to put to the best use for the animals in their care. You're helping animals in the Central Virginia area. If you're helping the Richmond SPCA, they've pulled dogs from hurricanes, from disasters, from overseas that were in meat farms. It's incredible the work they do, and I don't think you could think of a better animal welfare organization to support than the Richmond SPCA.
Shelter pets are not broken or damaged or lesser. They've just been unlucky at the hands of humans. The Richmond SPCA changes that luck completely for them. To do so for many of them, we must treat their sicknesses and their injuries, and that takes money and resources. Please help us to restore them to health, restore their faith in people, restore their ability to love, and to restore us, because we are greatly in their debt. Thank you for being here this evening and for supporting the life-saving work of the Richmond SPCA.
Thank you, Richmond SPCA.
For the life-saving work that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richmond SPCA.
For the life-saving work that you do.